Hi, if you're a small business and you have a website, we need to have a little talk. Do you have access to your Google Analytics? And do you have access to your Google Search Console? And do you have access to your website to be able to modify it? And do you have access to your registrar where you registered your domain name? And do you have access to your hosting where you host your website? I'm bringing this up because I've been in this industry since 2001. Well, prior to 2001, when I founded Tech Care, I founded Executive Pages before that. So I've been building websites since I learned it in 1994. And as more and more web developers came on the scene and then SEO companies that came on the scene, I've found that a lot of web developers and a lot of SEO companies have a mentality that you should not have access to your own things. You don't know how to work the software. If you have access to your website, you might mess it up because there's this mentality with a lot of web developers and a lot of agencies and a lot of SEO companies or agencies that you don't count. And I have this real problem with this because it's your material. It's your website. It's your hosting. It's your domain name. It's your Google Analytics, and it's your Google Search Console. And you may think you have access, but you need to check. And the second thing you need to check, even if you have access, you need to make sure you have administrator access. That means that you are in Google Search Console, a verified owner. In Google Analytics, you're an administrator. On your domain name where you registered it, you can access it and make all the changes you want, even to the obviously to the billing. Probably you have access to that. On your hosting account, you need to make sure you can go in there and use FTP and maybe add a user or add a collaborator or not. And if you use WordPress or in the back end of your website, you need to make sure that you are an administrator, that you can control others who have access to your account. And don't wait until the last second to figure out if you have this access or not. Do it today. Run through all of the items that I have just mentioned to you and make sure you have access to all of them. I'm going to post a link to a blog post that I'm going to write about this, and it will give you like a little checklist of what you should check to make sure that you, number one, have access, and number two, that you have administrator, complete control. These are your things. You paid for them. They belong to you. They belong to your company. It is not okay for a web developer or a web agency or an SEO agency to have full access and not give you full access. It's not all right. And if you're asking for that and they have a problem with it, that's not a good company to be dealing with, and you probably need to move on. I'm going to give you a quick example. Say you get a new house built, but the builder doesn't let you go in all the rooms. Or the builder says, if you want to invite anyone over, you got to call my office first. Or if the builder says, yeah, we're going to put a security code on, a lock code on the door, but we're not going to tell you what it is. And every time you want to go in or out with your groceries or to walk your dog, you need to just give us a call and we'll do that. That would not be acceptable, right? Right? That wouldn't be acceptable to you. It's not acceptable in your business. It's not acceptable with all of your assets that you've owned, that you've paid for. And then the last thing I want to mention is a lot of times a web agency or web developer won't give a client full administrative access. And I've heard this over and over again because you might mess it up. All right, fine. Mess it up. You're going to have to pay to get it fixed, or you'll have to fix it yourself anyways. But the thing is you need to have access. And I can analogize this. Say you have your home built, right? And you hire an interior decorator to come in and move your furniture around and maybe hang up some curtains and put some pillows around. Are you allowed to move the pillows and the furniture and change the curtains or maybe change the paint? Yes, you are. It's your house. So why would an interior decorator say, nope, it's got to stay in, I put it there. I know how to do it right. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. You're doing it wrong and you can't do it. It's your home. It's your website. This is your business. You need to have full access to all of this. So take a look at the blog post, get a checklist, and please today or in the next week, verify you have access to all of these. If you have a problem and you can't access something, I do have time slots like you can book with me. I have by the hour, you can go to my website and see the booking. I will help you unravel this. I'll give you language you can use to talk to the agencies that didn't give you access, or if you want, I can contact them directly. I'm happy to help you with this. This has been a big thing for me for years and years and years. I've been saying this for years. If you watch many of my webinars, I tell you, you should own it. All right? I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Let's get your website built and under your control. All right? Have a great day.